Eric, hello and welcome to the MegaCast.
Hi, Dave. Good to be here.
Have you been listening to Lauren's dilemma?
I have, and unfortunately, it's not a unique story. If you Google something as simple as Michigan Unemployment Insurance Agency, which I did last night, there's literally dozens and dozens and dozens of pages of the article and various articles about 340,000 people are not getting their benefits. It's been placed on hold because of other people committing fraud and the government trying to deal with that. It's really unfortunate, and I'm sure under the circumstances, the Unemployment Insurance Agency is overwhelmed, but that's little comfort to the people who have been told they can't go to work, they can't leave their house, and the government's going to help them out through unemployment benefits.
So, Eric, it's even worse than that because I think this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Eric Glick with us of the Glick Law Firm. Counselor, it's even worse because that development happened, the upswing in fraud has been happening, over the past 3-4 weeks, and it's been more of an issue. Lauren filed in March and hasn't heard word one. So, I mean, listen, I'm coming to you, and it's not your fault. You're an attorney. You help people like this. Do you have any idea, any thoughts? I mean, we're working through, which you heard, we're trying to get a hold of some lawmakers to see if they'll advocate on our behalf, but even they're having trouble. So, any idea, Counselor, any strategy or thoughts for anybody else that might be in this situation, or what we can tell Lauren?
Unfortunately, all the strategies are out there. I mean, people are calling. It's a full-time job for people. They're spending 6-8 hours a day trying to get through to someone. They're finally getting through, or they're sending an email and they're getting a message saying, "We'll call you right back." There's no easy solution to it. I see that a lot of the state representatives are calling for the termination of the head of the Unemployment Insurance Agency. Again, that's little comfort to people. This is, uncharted territory with the global. But you're right, we're 2 months into it at this point, and things need to be figured out.
Right, and it's even worse. I mean, just imagine Lauren here. We're fortunate she's got income coming into their house right now, but a lot of people don't have a penny coming into their house. And so what are you supposed to do? You don't have any money. You don't even have any cash to call a lawyer or somebody to help you out.
Well, that's exactly right. This has been going on. There have been issues with the Unemployment Insurance Agency for as long as I can remember. I help people a little bit over the years, but the issue is people who are receiving unemployment insurance benefits typically don't have the money to pay for an attorney to go through the appeals process. You probably remember back in 2013, 14, 15, the Unemployment Insurance Agency started using a new computer and a new computer algorithm, and they were assessing people back then. It's changed, but back then, if you received less than $500, and it was based on misrepresentation. Any misrepresentation when you call in, if you misrepresent, you're looking for a job or you're working for a job, anything by accident, you not only have to repay the money you were paid, but 2 times that amount. And if it's over $500, it's the amount you were paid plus 4 times that amount. So if you receive, say, $5,000 and they determine there's fraud or misrepresentation, you've got to pay back $25,000. And I can tell you they were across the board concluding there was fraud or misrepresentation. They would issue a determination, you request a redetermination, they'd give you the same result. We'd have to go to file an appeal with the administrative law judge. And sometimes we were successful with the administrative law judge, but I can tell you the people at the Unemployment Insurance Agency would not change their mind. It was up to the judge. They would say, we determine this is fraud. So now, as of 2018, at least that's changed. Now, if there is fraud, if there is identity theft, which you've been talking about, none of us want that. We don't want people taking away money from people that need it. We don't want people taking our tax dollars when they're not entitled to it. So there's still this 4-time penalty when there's fraud. But at least now, if there's a mistake, if it's a first offense, you just repay back the money that you were overpaid. If it's a second offense, you pay back 1.5 times the money you were overpaid. Because before, you talk about ruining people's lives. If you've got to pay back $25,000 when you were paid $5,000, and the UIA, they don't have the same due process as any other creditors. They can garnish your wages, they can garnish your tax refunds, they can garnish your unemployment benefits, they can not give you unemployment benefits. So boy, people were, there's been some lawsuits that I'm sure you're aware of, and people are getting money back.
Hey,
but still,
you just gave me a really good idea, Eric Glick. I'm sure no one's ever done this, and I'm sure illegal. I'm not a lawyer. What if we garnished the state of Michigan and we tried to obviously you can't do this, but there's got to be, we don't want to sue the state of Michigan on Lauren's behalf, but what could somebody do? Is there any legal process or, and I realize this is not the biggest radio show and television show in the world, and we have other responsibilities on our beat here, but it just seems to me that this is a really good thing to work on. We have 20 fraud cases in West Bloomfield. We have people like Lauren, hundreds of thousands of them around the state. There's got to be tens of thousands of them in our listening area that are, we just don't know about. Got to be something we can do. So what do you think?
Well, there's a couple things. Number one is the government has immunity from these types of things. The government is immune. The theory is we don't. Of course, right. Second idea is, there are procedures if you're denied benefits, but the problem is Lauren hasn't been denied benefits. 340,000 people haven't been denied benefits. They're just being told they need to provide more information or it's in the works. And so unfortunately, there's no recourse other than what you're suggesting is continue to try to get through to people at the UIA or talk to the legislatures or talk to the representatives.
All right. Well, we'll work on it. In Lauren's case, again, I think there's two groups of people here, Eric. I think there are people that I would assume if the state is withholding your benefits to protect themselves from fraud, they would have sent a letter out to all those people and let them know. We'll check with Lauren again in a minute. I don't think she got that letter. Lauren, did you get a letter? Just give us a thumbs up or down. I could see. Did you get a letter? No, she's giving me a thumbs down. No letter from the state. So she's really been denied her benefits, don't you think, Eric?
Well, of course. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So.
But there's no appeals process for not being officially denied.
Right. This is exactly why we have to do something. She's called her lawmaker, and they're trying, but even they admit they can't do anything. She's tried for 2 months to get somebody on the phone, Ixvay, Nixvay, no answer, bay. So there's just, we got to do something. That's why we're talking about it in the media. So we're going to work on some strategies. Anything legal? Could we threaten a lawsuit to the state of Michigan or I'm not suggesting you get engaged in such nefarious activities. I could, but is that a potential thing, or what would you recommend?
I'd recommend there's things we can do. Sure, we can write letters to the representatives. We can contact the State Bar Association and try and put something together. But really, from the grassroots level, it's really try to continue going through the process, as obnoxious as it may be, to keep making phone calls and to keep sending emails, but keep doing that. And, again, getting through to the representatives, having the representatives on your show and having them in people's corners to put pressure on the Unemployment Insurance Agency or the governor to actually get moving and get these things figured out. That's the way to go.
All right.
The better.
Eric, thank you so much for your advice, and thanks for bringing me back down from the mountain. But we're gonna work on this. I'm not giving up. There's a media side to this thing too. The Unemployment Insurance Agency cannot ignore 500,000 people when they're properly motivated to just leave it out there and not resolve this issue for so many people.
Well, they've been trying to, but we don't want that to happen.
All right.
Get in gear and start doing what they need to do.
Eric, anything else that you want to mention? You've been kind enough to come on the show. This is what we want to talk to you about. Anything else that you want to share with us today?
That's it, Dave.
All right, very good.
Enjoy the rest of the day. It's a beautiful day.
It is a great day. Thank you very much. Eric Glick of the Glick Law Firm.